Yo, what up, though? It's your boy Street Coder Nate, and today I got a great one for y'all. In the last videos, we learned about the document object model, the DOM, and so in this video, we're gonna learn about the browser object model, the BOM, right? It's the BOM. So we're gonna hop into it and see what's up with the browser object model. Let's get it. All right, so the browser object model is real dope. And if you remember back to when I was talking about the document object model, I was saying that the document object model is kind of like the root of the HTML like object file and whatnot. Well, if the document object model is the root, well then of the HTML, well then there's a bigger root for the overall like project. Well, the document object is the root of the project, but when it comes to the actual file being loaded, the HTML file being loaded, well, it needs to be loaded into somewhere. Where is it loaded at? It's loaded into the window object. You know, when you double click on Google Chrome, when you double click on Safari, Firefox, all of them, i.e., what happens is someone wrote most likely C++ code that pretty much opens up what you call a window, and it's simply they use your graphics processor and on your monitor. Now when in C++, let's say you just do, or let's do Python for example, it's like it's like object dot, or it's like window dot open, and then what happens is literally just a blank window opens. And so now that that blank window is open, their code, let's say for Google Chrome, says, all right, if there's going to be an HTML document loaded into this window, I need this window to be set up like this, right? And so we have access to that actual window element in JavaScript. So we have access to the DOM, and we also have access to the window. So if the window loads the DOM, then the window is the main root of the project, right? The window, actually, whenever we want to grab the document, I know we used to say document dot get element by ID, but actually we could say window dot document dot get element by ID. But window is just assumed because window owns everything, because you got to open the window in order to load the file. Make sense? Cool. All right, so today what we talk about, we're just gonna get more into details about this bomb and see what it's all about. So here we are. So right now we're looking at the JavaScript. We're looking at the JavaScript window, the bomb, the browser object model, right? Oh, that's what happened. I thought I did something. Okay. Okay. All right. So the browser object model. What is the browser object model? Let me move myself up. Okay, so I'm trying to see what my head shape look like. Okay, so there are no official standards for the browser object model. What does that mean? So since modern browsers have implemented the same methods and properties for JavaScript, let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit. There we go. Cool, that's what I was looking. That's what I was trying to do. Okay, so they implemented the same methods and properties for JavaScript interactively. It is often referred to as methods and properties of the BOM. So basically, Google Chrome, Safari, all of them, they implemented like JavaScript in their window pretty similar. So you don't have to try to remember for different browsers. Although certain browsers have like little specific things that you might need to look for. Okay, so the window object. So what is this window object? I keep talking about the window object. The browser object model, well, the window is the big part of it. So the window object is supported by all browsers. It represents the browser's window. You double click on Google Chrome and that window open, that's what this is referring to. And we have access to that full window and all of its capabilities in our JavaScript. That's dope. So not only do we get access to the HTML elements, but now we have access to the window that's holding all of these HTML elements. Let's see what we can do with this. So all global JavaScript objects, functions, and variables automatically become members of the window object, meaning everything in JavaScript is owned by the window. So whether you got to go window.document.getElement by ID, and then you get the H1. That H1 is owned by the window because what's owned by the what's owned by the H1? Well, the document is owned by H1, and we said document.get element. So okay, that's owned by the H1, or that's owned by the window, the document, and then well, we also say window.document. So okay, so then the document's owned by the window. So everything comes back to the window is what I'm keep trying to tell y'all. So, but we don't have to say window. That's what you're gonna find out. So, and variables automatically become members of the window object. That's basically what it's saying. So, global variables are properties of the window object. Global functions are methods of the window object. Even a document object, the HTML DOM, as I said multiple times, is a property of the window object. See, if you say window right here, let's scroll up a little bit. We got right here, we got window.document.get element by ID. So they're showing us that it is the same as saying document.get element by ID. We don't have to say window because it's already assumed. We already know that the window owns everything. So before we're saying document, but we can actually say window.document and it will still work the exact same way. That's dope. Cool. Okay, so let's say that we wanted to check the window size. Like, let's see how big the window is. And what do I say by window size? Well, this is what I mean by window size. Like, the window could be this small. It could be this big. That, like, we can check the window size for real. So the way that we check the window size is we get access to these properties. We got inner height and inner width. And basically, y'all know what height and width is. I ain't got to go that deep into it, but this helps you get the height and the width of the window based on the pixels, which is like, you probably like, why the hell would I need that? But like in JavaScript, you don't know yet. You're like, when you're making these projects, like you would be like, all right, if the window goes down this small, make this happen. And then the user would be like, whoa, that was dope. That was a cool ass animation. This is what they're used for. You got to start thinking outside the box. Why you got all these different properties. I don't want to just teach all these properties and you're like, okay, I got all of this. What the fuck I do? Start thinking about like, why would I even need these? You know, and just pick the ones that you do need. Cause like right here, I'm not about to like Internet Explorer. We're not going to use client height because most people are not developing for Internet Explorer. I think Internet Explorer itself, the application is deprecated. It's funny as hell, actually. All right. Let's go to the next one. So other window methods. Okay, so these are some cool ones down here. The window was real quick and easy. So other window methods that we wanted to cover is window.open. This will literally open you a window. When you double click on your, let's come down here. Can you see my taskbar open? Nope, can't see it. Okay, so at the bottom of the screen, you can usually see like my apps and stuff. And when you double click on your app, you can, the window opens. Well, basically that is what's happening right here when we say window.open, but we can open up a window from our application, right? Let's say we're having some JavaScript code and then we just wanted to open up a window to do something. Like, I don't know, like we'll figure it out one day. We can literally be in the middle. Let's say we add an event handler because we learned about event handlers. Let's say we add an event handler right on this button, this previous button that says, if the previous button is clicked, run window.open. And what will happen is window.open or a window will literally open. That's dope. Okay, so if we do window.close, this will close the current window. So whatever window that we're on right now in our JavaScript code, if we say window.close, if I clicked on this one and it had a window.close connected to it, well then best believe this current window will be closed. That's like pressing the X on the window. Okay, window.move to, well that refers back to like, let's say the window isn't at a full window, right? If we say window.move to, we can move it to different places on the screen like these, right? And we gotta give it the X and the Y coordinates of the screen, but that's what move to does. And then resize, well, you just saw me resize it, right? And so the window, and so that's what pretty much resize is for the window. And so let me get back over Chia. So, oops. Oh, wow. Okay. And full. Okay, cool. All right, I switched it up on accident. I forgot I was tutoring somebody yesterday. But today you learned pretty much about the window and that everything is owned by the window. We didn't get too specific into the code today. And with these series, I don't really want to get too specific in the code. I just want to give you this information, right? Just get this information in, take it in, because then we're going to really get into the projects. Don't try to internalize this information. Take the important parts. If you want to keep small documentation as you're going through this series or all my series, do that. But on some real, you shouldn't be trying to take note like old school way of learning. That's not what this is. This is you get the information. 10 to 20% of the time of learning is get the information, and then for me, the other percent of the time, I would say what 80 to 90 is literally like practicing, exploring, and all of that. So we're gonna get the 80 90 soon. I know it's been like a lot of 10 20 with me just lecturing, but we're gonna get to 80 90 soon. But yeah, so this was the important part on the window. Is that the window really loads everything else, and that we also have access to the window. What we're gonna see now is that through the window we get access to more capabilities. And so tap in with the rest of the series, and I'll see y'all then. All right, peace.